Well, good morning, Southeast Texas. We started out this morning with quite a few showers south of Interstate 10. Now, Orange County, you saw some rain earlier this morning. Had a pretty good coverage from Mid-County over to Orange County, back down to the coastline. Those showers have now weakened on our Roofing 911 Skycam network outside our 12 studios, sponsored by Mid-County Plumbing. Of course, we'll take a look at radar in just a few minutes, but have mostly sunny to partly cloudy skies, and ever so slowly the moisture is working back in off the Gulf of Mexico. Kind of having a hard time because just above the surface our winds are out of the north, so it's going to take another day or two to get a little bit better moisture levels, especially to the inland areas. But we'll give it a 20 to 30% coverage the rest of the day as far as showers and thunderstorms go. No real big upper level disturbance or anything coming in this afternoon, so we should be okay there. But you can see lots of sunshine and pretty warm. We're expecting highs to be in the lower 90s this afternoon over in Lake Charles, our Roofing 911 Skycam network over there. This was one of the locations that saw a very heavy shower this morning, had almost a half an inch of rain in parts of Lake Charles, but that shower is now dissipated. You're looking at mostly sunny skies right now too, but we will see more clouds throughout the day. We'll become partly cloudy with widely scattered to scattered showers and thunderstorms in the afternoon. So, and of course, the farther north you go, as we've been talking about the last couple of days, the less chance of rain. The moisture coming back off the Gulf behind that latest front that came through a couple of days ago, just having a hard time working inland due to north winds just above the surface. Up in Jasper, your chances of rain the next day or so will be a little bit less than down here in the Triangle. Our Roofing 911 Skycam network up in Jasper, sponsored by Provalis. You have mostly sunny to partly cloudy skies as well. Now the air mass is drier up in the lakes area than what we're seeing down here in the Triangle and coastal areas. It's been that way over the past 12 hours or so. Eventually some better moisture will reach the lakes. If not today, certainly by tomorrow you'll see a little bit better moisture levels up there. The rain coverage for the lakes this afternoon only around 10 to 20%. There'll be a couple pop up later on this afternoon. And then of course, as we head into tomorrow and on Friday, a little bit better chance of rain even in the lakes area. Nothing major, just your typical summer showers. Our Roofing 911 Skycam network over in Orange, sponsored by the Horseman's Western Store. This was one location that saw a pretty good shower this morning. So we've had our share of showers this morning, but things have kind of cleared out, at least temporarily, across parts of east and southeast Texas this afternoon. And by the way, temperatures are in the mid to upper 80s, nothing too terribly hot. We'll top out in the lower 90s coming up this afternoon, which is normal for this time of the year. Low 90s, 92, 93. And also we're on the edge of that ridge of high pressure too. We're on the edge of that. So it's kind of the moisture fighting the upper level ridge to see who's going to win over the next day or so. But our ridging is actually a little bit more than what we had yesterday. So it's kind of offsetting the moisture we have trying to come back. The ridge of high pressure keeping a lot of showers from developing even currently. 89 degrees on a Roofing 911 Skycam network. Our other camera here in Beaumont, sponsored by Packard and Prey. You can see some of the leftover mid and high level clouds off to the east and southeast. That was from showers earlier down around Port Arthur and Sabine Pass. And of course, those showers have now worked over into Louisiana and outside our 12 studios. Mostly sunny to partly cloudy. This camera is sponsored by Mid-County Plumbing. So basically partly cloudy skies this afternoon, and not only today, but for the next several days, we'll have a chance of scattered showers and thunderstorms in the area. Your typical 30% coverage looks like coming up each day. Maybe a little bit better chance late in the weekend into early next week as a trough tries to work in from Louisiana. And we'll show you all that coming up in just a moment. That allergy report, not bad at all, especially in the tree, the weed, the grass, all in good categories today. The mold in the medium category, but that'll be holding steady over the next day or so. So that's not bad news there at all on the allergy report. All right, let's take a look at temperatures across the region. Mid to upper 80s, 87 in Orange, 89 up in Kirbyville, 85 Lake Charles. So basically mid to upper 80s across all of southeast Texas. Already 91 though at Houston Intercontinental Airport, 87 up in Huntsville, and we'll top out in the low to mid 90s coming up over the next day or so. Pretty close to normal. Some areas may hit a degree or two above normal over the next day or so. All right, let's take a look at radar. A couple of showers off to the west Anahuac. Not much there. Over southwest Louisiana, there goes an outflow boundary from the fairly heavy showers they had over Lake Charles earlier. A rain cooled outflow boundary northeast and east of Lake Charles, and a few showers well to the east of Cameron. These are all working up toward Lafayette over the next few hours. But once again, we had a pretty good coverage earlier here in the Triangle, especially south of I-10, but things looking okay now. But with daytime heating and enough moisture around, we'll give it a 20 to 30% coverage of showers and thunderstorms the rest of the afternoon across the region. All right, let's take a look at satellite. Boy, I tell you, most of the state under full sunshine. The only clouds are really right along the coastal areas, and the sea breeze will work northward later today as well. Lots of clear skies for central North Texas, west central, the Panhandle. Look at that, very few clouds even found. Lots of showers and thunderstorms off the coast of New Orleans, and that looks like that's where the deepest moisture is going to stay, and we'll show you that in just a moment when we go to our upper level disturbance and moisture map in just a moment. But looks like over the course of the next several days, the deepest moisture will stay over southeastern Louisiana. There's that weak front still kind of meandering across the area. That will wash out as it works to the north this afternoon on into tomorrow. But you go north, you're in great shape. Dry air, high pressure in control, very little if any chance of rain north of Interstate 10 this afternoon. You can see the big ridge of high pressure out over the four corners. See how everything's rotating around that clockwise. Big cluster of storms across portions of South Dakota earlier. That's moved to the southeast now, ending northwestern Missouri. There's your typical scattered summer showers all along the Gulf Coast this morning. Florida, you have weak high pressure, so you're in pretty good shape there. And the west, of course, pretty quiet. All right, now it's time to look at our moisture levels, our upper level disturbances. Big ridge of high pressure. The heat dome is out around El Paso. Notice it's ridging eastward, very close to our area. We're right on the edge of that ridge. So it's like high pressure battling the moisture. And so far, the moisture was winning this morning. Now the high is winning. So, like I said, 20 to 30% will be the best we can do on the rain coverage this afternoon across southeast Texas. Now what we'll do is take you through a sequence of days here and see how things changed. Let's head into tomorrow and Thursday. Tomorrow looks like a repeat of today, 30% rain coverage on the thunderstorms. The high still back over the west. We're still kind of on the edge of that, but notice there is an upper level disturbance in the flow coming up late tomorrow into Friday morning. That's that red shading there. That'll add lift to the atmosphere, so that'll keep the scattered thunderstorm chances going late tomorrow on into Friday as well. Notice Friday evening, a little bit better moisture across the area, a little disturbance across Louisiana. So we're just in a typical summertime pattern right now. So that's good. High pressure out to the northwest. We're on the edge of it. We have just enough moisture for some scattered storms, which means some folks will see rain, some folks will see no rain over the course of the next several days. Upper level trough in the eastern Gulf coming up by Friday and the weekend. That'll advance toward Louisiana late Friday into Saturday. Notice another disturbance coming in from the northeast. That'll keep the scattered showers and thunderstorms going in our forecast through the weekend, and the trough finally moves ashore. Very weak, nothing real strong here. You see the winds out of the south, winds out of the northeast. Pretty decent trough there, but one thing I want to point out here, and this is over the weekend into Sunday and Monday, even though we have this coming in. Notice where the best moisture is at, though. We're on the edge of it. Lafayette, Baton Rouge, New Orleans, eastward. So that's going to be your better rain coverages with this trough this weekend. It's actually going to be off to our east. Have better moisture there. We'll give it a 30, maybe a 40% coverage on Sunday and Monday, but a lot of that deep moisture continues off to our east. That's where the best coverages and the heaviest rains will be at that time. And as we head into the middle part of next week, trough pretty much moves north and weekend, but we have better moisture by the middle part of next week. So scattered storms for the next 7 to 10 days in the forecast. Futurecast the rest of the afternoon. A few showers and storms popping up here and there, and they'll be working from northeast to southwest very slowly this afternoon. This morning, the activity was working on off to the northeast, but remember, just above the surface, the winds are out of the north, so that kind of messes things up. Early in the morning, get those shallow showers. They'll work northeast, and the low-level flow Showers and storms that are able to develop in the afternoon, they get taller in the atmosphere, so they get caught up in the upper level flow. So anything this afternoon may drift very slowly on off to the southwest. Otherwise, it'll be a very warm afternoon with highs in the low 90s. Any showers and thunderstorms today will weaken once we lose daytime heating. Temperature still around 80, 82 at 10 o'clock tonight. We'll drop on down under mostly clear skies tonight into the mid 70s. So kind of a warm, humid night. Of course, the air is drier in the lakes. You may see some lower 70s up in the lakes area coming up overnight tonight. And tomorrow we'll do it all over again. It'll be a partly cloudy, hot, humid day. Less rain for the lakes and about a 30% coverage in the triangle. Best chance, of course, coming mid to late afternoon. Model's not real crazy about developing any showers coming up over the next couple of days. Good news in the tropics. The Gulf looks great. Nothing expected in the Gulf over the next, I'd say, week to week and a half at least. So that's great news. Of course, we have Dexter in the northern Atlantic. He's moving out. Another area of disturbed weather off the Carolinas. Pretty decent chance this one will develop. It'll also head to the northeast, out into the North Atlantic. No threat to the Gulf. And another disturbance almost halfway between Africa and the islands. Pretty good chance this one's going to develop too, looking at the upper air pattern. But once again, it's going to turn out to sea as well. Will not affect the Gulf of Mexico. So that is great news. So at least for the next week and a half, the Gulf should be okay. Of course, we'll be watching other waves coming off Africa in the course of the next 4 to 6 weeks. All right, marine forecast looks pretty good. South winds up to about 5 knots. Seas only around a foot. Water temperature in the upper 80s, close to 90, very warm. The rest of the day, lakes and inland southeast Texas, you'll have a less coverage of showers and thunderstorms. We've already seen 30% coverage in the triangle this morning, especially parts of Orange County, Mid-County, seeing some pretty good showers this morning. Nothing now, but earlier we had a pretty good coverage. Highs will be in the lower 90s across southeast Texas. And let's take a look at tonight. Have any outdoor plans, activities planned for tonight? Looking pretty good, mostly clear. No rain expected overnight. It's going to feel pleasant in the lakes. Now, reason why, remember, the air's drier right now up in the lakes and in the triangle. So 70, 71 again in the morning, Burkeville, not out of the question. Of course, it'll be more humid here in the triangle. We'll be in the middle 70s here, but at least no rain in the forecast overnight tonight. And your next 7 days, and you don't see this very often. We haven't seen this much this summer. Well, we're just not going to see much change in temperature or rain chances. Normal highs this time of the year, low 90s. Looks like we'll stay in the lower 90s the next several days. And the normal rain coverage is around 30% each day. That's our normal rain coverage we see in August. So looks like the next 7 days we will see at least a chance of scattered showers and thunderstorms. So a third of the area seeing rain each day. One day it may be you, the next day it may be an area 10 miles away. That's just how it's going to be as we head into the weekend. Now those coverages may jump up to 40% Sunday, Monday, Tuesday as that trough, remember we showed you coming in from Louisiana, but of course the deepest moisture, as we showed you also earlier, stays on off to our east over around Baton Rouge and the New Orleans area. But certainly some good news in the tropics. Look at the Gulf, it's in great shape. Some systems, of course, out in the Atlantic that'll stay away from us. Actually, 3 of them. Dexter moving away. The next system will move away. And the system west of Africa, it'll stay out to sea too. So, well, that's great news. Hopefully this pattern will continue for the next 6 to 7 weeks and we may be able to get through this thing.